So a social media manager, this is also a very in demand position right now because every company needs a social media manager. This is the person that manages your Facebook page, your Twitter account, your Instagram account, possibly your Pinterest account. There's a finite number of social networks that need to be managed for every company. So first there's actually managing the page or the Twitter account. This is making posts, answering people, keeping the conversation going, being a good advocate for the company, and being a very friendly social media manager on behalf of the company. There are jobs out there right now for this. And then the other aspect, the other side of it is actually running the advertising, running ads on Facebook for likes, for traffic, boosting posts, running ads to your database. That's called custom audiences. There's probably 10 different ways to advertise on Facebook, but I don't want to overwhelm you with that. But just to know that those are probably the core ways. But once you learn the ways, you'll look like a rock star. Once you learn how to run ads on there effectively, running ads on Facebook is brilliant if you're if you're doing it properly. Once you learn how to do it, you're a very in-demand individual, in my opinion, because that's a very big need. Companies look at the Facebook advertising platform and they're like, what? They don't know where to start. It's kind of like Google AdWords. It's like you log into Google AdWords and you're like, okay. Now, if you know how to use platforms like these, it's second nature to you. But they keep evolving and they keep adding features, so you have to stay on top of it. Something that's very important to being a social media manager is running sweepstakes, like we talked about earlier, and running frequent sweepstakes. In my opinion, I always say if you're not running a sweepstakes, you don't have a social media strategy, because nothing grows social exposure like sweepstakes. People love sweepstakes. They see their friends enter, they give you their email, they like the page. It grows your list, it grows your likes, and there's nothing more effective to growing your social exposure than running sweepstakes. And then, of course, there's measuring social media effectiveness. This is doing things like running coupon codes, doing an ad on Facebook and seeing how many orders come in, advertising for likes and then doing a boosted post and seeing how many sales come in. So companies want to measure their social media advertising. It's just a little harder than it is in the search engines, for instance, because you have to use codes, you have to use tracking links, things like that, special limited time offers. Use coupon code Facebook for a 20% off deal. Then you look and see how many people use code Facebook when they purchased, and you can say, oh, okay, we spent $500 adding more likes, we did a boosted post, we spent $50 more, and we got $300 in sales, so okay, it almost broke even, but it's getting there. So you can start to get your ROI on your social advertising by doing things like that. So when you're a social media manager, you want to be awesome, you want to be proactive. There's nothing worse than a boring ass social media manager, in my opinion, because it's all about being happy and friendly and bringing value to them, sharing helpful resources, articles, brightening up their day. And there's a statistic I saw recently, people want to see motivational messages are very good to share. When you're managing a page, brightening up their day. There's nothing worse than negativity on social networks. So bring some light, bring some positivity to the social experience. If you're managing a page on behalf of a company or your own stuff, bring joy to them, bring great deals to them, and you'll get the response. Now, that being said, if you don't boost your posts on Facebook, for instance, you won't get a lot of engagement. But if you do boost your posts, you'll get a ton of engagement. So that's kind of how they've set it up to make their money. But don't be afraid of boosting posts, because the engagement goes through the roof when you boost it. And you can also get additional likes to the page if you boost it to a targeted audience as opposed to the fans or their fans and their friends. So you can boost a few different ways and get a good, and measure, and see what results. And do it really inexpensively, 20 here, 10 here, 50 here, and piecemeal your way to greatness. Running communities and groups, forums, Facebook groups, LinkedIn groups, these are all things that take management, they take moderation. It's not for someone who just wants to set it and forget it. You have to really work these things. But if you do it, it will pay dividends. I run an affiliate group with 28,000 people in it. I've had it for about 6 years, and it just grows organically now. And I can email blast that list once a week, whatever I want, and it's really powerful. And so if you grow that type of audience that way, it's just another list to blast or another place to post your content and, control what goes on there. So it's nice. And, monetization strategies, we've talked about some of them: email blasting offers, custom audiences, running promotional codes to the audience and seeing how many sales come in and measuring it. These are monetization strategies that a social media manager, let me tell you, social media managers are super in demand right now. If you can and I have articles on how to do this, how to be a rock star social media manager. So I can refer you to some of those, and then I'm convinced I can get you a job as a social media manager because they're just so in demand, it's ridiculous. And it's really not that hard once you know technique.